And another sound, yeah? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, type hi. If you can hear me, type hi. Which means no na pota pota. This is an unreleased song by our brother. Maybe this is the first time you are hearing the song. It is our brother that played the song Ejimofo, FSG, Ejimofo. He sent me this song and said, Maazi, maybe this song will help in the ministry. So he did this song as a result of his encounter with my teaching of awakening. So I want us to listen to the song. Is the music volume high? Your Shazam cannot find it. The song is not in any platform. Shazam cannot find it. Is the sound okay now? You cannot find the sound anywhere. You cannot find the song anywhere. It is yet to be released. So the owner of the song just called me and asked me to. Okay, now man, thank you. The owner of the song called me, FXG, the man that played Ejimofo, and asked me to ask you people, what do you think? He's also awakening to the reality of the day. So he's asking, what do you people think? How is it now? How is the sound? We are testing our audio, so you should get to acclimatize with the settings. Is the production okay? The sound is okay. The teaching is starting by 9:30, so I'm using the music to make you happy before we continue. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful relations. For those commenting, thank you. For those sharing, thank you. So the sound is okay, right? Somebody is asking how do one sponsor the program. You can pay into our foundation account. If you don't find it, you can pay through my account. We appreciate every little money you bring and the big money you bring. In 1 minute time, the teaching will continue. Ekene gị ife mụ na dị na mma ọrụ alụsị na ọrụ mmadụ mụ na ya na-eje ozi. Mgbe ụlọ ọrụ alụsị na ọrụ mmadụ mụ na ya niile na-eje ozi. Nsi unu bịa n'ụlọ mgbe anyị ji eme mmọnwụ. Ekene ga arụ ofu onye na Nando. Arụ ofu onye igwe. 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 Arụfọnụ igwe, arụfọnụ igwe, arụfọnụ igwe, arụfọnụ igwe. Isi m hụrụ na mama nda. Isi nwere eziọma ka ugwu eziokwu. Mụ na oke Igbo teta n'ụla. Mụ rapụzia ndị fọrọ afọ n'ihi emezulu m ya. Arọ ibute obodo, ibute ịdị ka ịma ngwa agwụ, egwu ịdị ka ịma mbute ọzọ. Arụfụ onye gị bụ arọ, gị bụ agwụ, gị bụ ogwugwe, gị bụ ihe ojii, gị bụ ogwugwu nke na gị maka na ndị ụgbọ amụrụ na ezi dị iche mana ogene ka a na-akụrụ gị bụ arọ bụ n'agụ nke na gị mmụọ niile mụ na ya dị na mma ọrụ mmadụ na ọrụ alụsị ibe niile mụ na ya ji dị ebube nzunu bịa mụọ mụ na ya dị eme mmọnwụ. Nsi gị biko ka unu mee m aka tụọ m opi n'ama ka mba niile mmalụ na Igbo ezugokwanụ Igbo ekunyigo. Ị ga-ebunata isi batịrị anyị chịnata nwa ya ọkaneta anyị ndị ọcha chịrị. Ibe niile bụ ntụ na awụọ ndị ụka ọbịa wetara be anyị bụ ndị okwu na ụka. Ị ga-etikporo mfa. Ibe niile bụ okwu asị nke e wetara dịka eziokwu wee nalụ ndị be anyị akọ na uche. Ị ga-eme ka ha nọ n'ọnọdụ efere. Nwoke n'etiti ihe na ọchịchịrị mee ka anyị Igbo sie itekwa dị ebube ọzọ karịa ka dị na mgbe mbụ. Etu esi ọnụ obodo dị anya dị iche iche na mgbe ebi gara aga ya ihe ime ka ọ pụtakwala anyị ife n'oge dị ka mgbe awa. Gị onye na-abụ ụgbọ n'oge ebere binye n'iwe bụ buso onye ọbụla na-ebuso ala Igbo agha n'obodo dị iche iche, ma ndị nọ n'isi ọchịchị, ndị isi ala na ndị isi mpaghara dị iche iche, ma ndị na-achị n'ụlọ akụ, ma ndị na-achị n'ụlọ nche, ụdị ọbụla na ọrụ ọbụla ha si wee bụ ife niile na-achọrọ ka Igbo gaa n'iru. Mgbe mma agha gị na-ebe ka ọkụ, chịlịta ụkwụ gị na ụtụ nta gị, mịa mma agha gị lụso ha agha, bụ ndị na-ebuso agha ya Chukwu. Were agha ọnụ anyị n'oge mgbe anyị ji eme odogwu Chukwu okike agbụ ekele nwa mgbe n'orugo ọtịtọ. Mgbe m gwara gị zam Chineke nke ezi omume, nye anyị Igbo ebe sara mgbe ha nọ na mkpa, ekwekwala ka ifere na anyị na alịrị tụọ anyị ọzọ. Anyị amụgo ya, anyị amụtara ya n'anya, anyị agbaghị egbe, anyị agbatara n'egbe, anyị adịghị ya na ndọrọndọrọ, anyị adatara na ndọrọndọrọ. Wee jụọ gị, wee were anya m wee lee egwu niile jụọ gị, olee ebe ime aka anyị ga-esi bịa isi n'ụka anyị mee ka unu bụ ndị ichie dị elu na unu ga-adọrọ mkpụrụ obi nye onwe unu. Wee sị unu n'olu etọsọ okwu okwusi iwu iyi kunu mee ka ọ pụta ife na onye jụrụ ndị ichie ajụgo nwere onwe. Nsị gị bịa onye na-agba ụgba n'obi ebele ma kpọọ okụzọ onwe m, jee n'olu na-asụ dị iche iche bata ndị a ga-eji n'ọnụ a ka ọ pụta ife. Ekwekwala ka ife anyị ejije ozi akọnarị anyị n'ụzọ, o bute dịka ọma ngwa agwụ ọgụ dịka ịma mpụta ọzọ. Gbaa mbọ niile dị iche iche, jee ebe n'Igbo niile nwụsara n'Igbo niile na ụmụnne ya niile, jebe na ụmụnne anyị na Igala, ma ndị bi n'Ebinidu, ma ndị nọ na Yoruba, Zulu bịa, ma ndị Juku, ndị niile bụ ụmụnne anyị Soko na Urobo, ife niile bụ ụmụnne anyị. Unu ejebe ebe na-asụ dị iche iche, ndị Ikwere na ndị Eche, tinyekwa egwu nwanne n'obi ka ha wee mara n'ofu ife ka anyị bụ. Tigbuo anyị ndọrọ ndọrọ ọchịchị na ụmụnne anyị nọ n'Ịka, ụmụnne anyị nọ n'Ishana, mee ka ha mata eziokwu na ndị ọcha atụla anyị asị ka anyị Igbo wee sikwa ike ọzọ. Gị onye na-abụ ụgọ n'obi ebere binye n'iwe Chukwu Chukwu Chukwu. Okpoko oge ọ na-egbere ọgba nne na ọjịrịja, o nweghị ihe megidere na enwe ofe mmadụ atọkarị ofe mmadụ. Ọ gwara ya ka anyị na-azọ n'omenala na ofe nna anyị fasili tọkarị ofe ndị ọcha weta. Ọ gwara ya ka anyị na-azọ na nwata ọmalụ nna ya ba ọmalụ ndị gboo, ọnụ ọkarị bụ ọnụ nna ya. Zuru Chukwu onye na-abụ ụgba n'obi ebele, unu si mụ ịba nọ n'ama nda, unu wee mee ka okwu ọnụ wee nwee nkwu okwu si na ụjọ ama ntụ m na mma akwụ uru n'iru ndị dị iche iche bụ mfe eziokwu ka e mee ka anyị Igbo wee daa ụda. Sunu se nye ụta okwu na ụta nta, chịrị mma ya na-ele ka ọkụ were aịza kpochapụ ife niile na-achọrọ ka Igbo dị mma. Gị onye na-abụ ụba n'obi ebele, gị onye kụnyere m nkakwu, ịnyeghị ịkụ ime mmiri m na-eji wee kpacha aka, ya ebuzi m mmiri obodo m mmiri Chukwu. Egwara ka ife ịkpọ ụkwụ bịa n'iru m, a na-achụ m ka egwu ụtụtụ ehihie n'abalị, a na-edetere m ozi ọnwụ ụtụtụ ehihie n'abalị, mana onye ka a na-egbuwu, onye ya ekwu ọbịala mmezu ma ọ bụ na gị bụ Chineke ekwurọ. Ejinwadị na-emete nsị mba, nche na-eme n'anya odogwu mba. Ime niile eji nwa obi na mbọ, mmụọ niile eji nwa odogwu nsi na ya adịla anyị ile. Ime niile bụ ife ụzọ kwuru wepụkọrọ anya ọrụ. Mma ekwu a sị na achọrọ ime enyi n'abalị ajụọ mma ekwu. Nsi ụlọ ime niile eji wee rie obi na mbọ na akpana, ikwurukwuru niile eji eme ebube nsị na ọ ya apụtala anyị ile. Nsi unu mee nna ya amala ka anyị na-akpịra na ahịhịa anyị. Ihe emela ya amala tigbuo ebe niile na-achọrọ ka anyị gaa n'iru. Gị onye na-abụ ụba n'obi ebele, ma nna ya amala Chukwu Okike abịa mma n'iru na azụ na aka ndị na aka ekpe, iru na azụ aka ndị na aka ekpe, iru na azụ aka ndị na aka ekpe. Ị ga-eme ka Igbo dị elu, 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 ị ga-eme ka Igbo dị elu. Mgbe okwu nkụzi na-esi n'ọnụ m apụ, ị ga-enyekwa ha ihe obi tiwala etiwa na nke egwepịala egwepịa, na mmụọ nghọta nke ga-eme ka ife niile nke bụ eziokwu a na-akụzi ka ọ mịa mkpụrụ ọma n'isi ụmụnne m. Ị gaghị ikwe ka anyị nọ n'ọnọdụ ifere, ihe ewepụla anyị ọnọdụ ifere ma mee ka anyị tụrụ ugo. Anyị ga-agba nzu wee dị udo obi, anyị na-ama mmiri na-agba anwụ, ele ngọrọ ya na ọfọ ka ọ ya adị. N'abalị Chukwu Okike abịa mma, gọọrọ anyị ka ọ pụtara anyị ibe na Eke, ọ pụtara anyị ibe na Oyo, ọ pụtara anyị ibe na Afọ, pụtara anyị ibe na Nkwọ, n'ugwu na ndịda aka ndị na-aka ekpe. Mgbe m kpọrọ gị zam Chineke nke ezi omume, Make I nwee ebe salambala mgbe anyị nọ na mkpa. Ele ngole akọ ya n'aba Chukwu na aja na ise. Mgbe Bible na-ezi ichi ekene m unu. For the interest of those who did not understand the prayer, it is a taboo to make or for declaration. I call it prayer so that you will understand. It's a taboo to make declarations in a foreign language. Please, for those calling me, that is why it is breaking. For those calling me, if you don't hear my voice, it means someone is calling me on phone. And I've told you people, wait till I settle down so that the Starlink will start working. So that even if you are calling me, it wouldn't affect me. For those calling me, desist from calling me so that I can give you my best tonight. The spirit is loaded and I have become a vessel to be used by them. May my abu never disappoint. For those who did not understand the initial prayers, the declarations I made, they go for. It is to welcome on the chant on the spirit of the ancestors who sent me on this mandate to enable me carry out my job effectively. Today is an Nkwo market day. I repeat, today is the dawn of Nkwo market day. Don't tell me it's Safo. I've taught you people that once it is sunset, we've concluded for the market day of yesterday. So today, I am calling today a new day because it is already a new sunset. Do you understand? The Igbo people do not count day by morning till morning. We count by evening to evening. So at this junction, we have entered a new day, which is the Nkwo market day. They have ended its job by sunset. So that is because if you have anything to do in the shrine or in the holy temple tomorrow, you must have started your confinement by sunset. For those who are using 12 midnight as their day, it is absolute madness infused into us by the colonial masters. At this juncture, I should proceed with my teachings for the day. What is my teachings for today? My teachings for today is to give you 10,000 reasons why you must understand that the return to your root is the biggest trend and the biggest thing that will ever happen to your life. Today is a new day. There is nothing you will tell me on earth that will make your mother's soup to be sweeter than mine. Or when you feel what you that is all man. That is all I'm advocating for. Nothing more. There is nothing on earth will make your mother's soup to be sweeter than mine. And there is nothing on earth will make my mother's soup to be sweeter than yours. It is impossible. The consciousness for jingoism is in everybody's mindset to place their parent superior to others' parents. If you accept that my mother's soup is sweeter than your mother's soup, then we can go back to religion. But if you know that there is nothing that will make my mother's soup to be ever sweeter than yours, then you give me listening ear. What am I shouting for? I just want us to understand the need for us to promote indigenous practices. So many calls called me today. And what are they calling for? They say they are having family problem. They need Alpha. Immediately I shunned them. I told them the need for Alpha, the incessant need for Alpha is coming from the madness which was triggered from religion. After today's teaching, you would see why you are the first Dibia that will save yourself. You are going through predicament. Life became so difficult. You don't know your way out. It is as if everything is falling against you. I think I will tell you what to do to avail yourself of those predicaments. Somebody sent me a message today and told me directly, is it as if that everything is crumbling right before his eyes? And I was like, what if I tell you that 60% of the problem is actually perpetuated by your very self? Now I will begin to ask, is ignorance an excuse? Is ignorance an excuse? The answer is no. Ignorance can never be an excuse. Why did I say so? For every human being, you must understand the need to acclimatize with your maternal home and your paternal home. If you are full of and I will tell you why your equalness is more potent in your salvation. The white man played us a very bad prank by giving us a surname, and they made us believe that the surname must be that of the man. By doing so, they removed the potency of the maternal spirits from us, and we were made empty from childhood. Now, if you understand, please, I am begging people, should I hear you comment to use Igbo only? It is like a direct insult on myself. I told you people that my message is not only for the Igbos. So don't come to my page and be tribalistic. I know many people from different parts of Africa calling me, telling me that my teachings is doing wonders in their household. Why do we always sound this way? And when you want to comment, zero courtesy, you speak to me as if to say, you brought me here yourself. I'm going to tell you who will talk as so then here. You want to say, Karama Suibo. Mama will even know what you are so and will be case so clear Igbo. Open can not teach you when I am not taka. Oh, even know you are so Ugaya Igbo, Ugaya Igbo. Can we come in and not blind or whatever by nature? Now, 90% of the problem started from your name. Today's topic is the effectiveness of name in every human being. The effectiveness of name on every human being. The potency of indigenous names. That is today's topic. The potency of indigenous names. Why I always like teaching you people from the Bible is because 90% of my viewers were once Christians or Christians still. And there is an excerpt from your Bible. Now, when you look at yourself and you ask yourself, what is your surname? That is the first lie the white man played on Africans. Open your ear. Biologically, the spermatozoa and the egg came together to form a gamete, a zygote that gave us the fetus that gave you a human. Arụnwoke na arụnwaanyị mmiri amụ na akwa nwaanyị gbakọtara ọnụ ime ka amụọ gị ka ị mụọ bụrụ nwa. Mana ndị gụrụ akwụkwọ si anyị na arụnwoke bụ mmiri amụ nwere naanị 30% nucleus, na mmegalụmelụ mmiri amụ bụ 30%. Mana mmegalụmelụ arụ nwaanyị, the egg of the woman contains 70%, akwa nwaanyị 70%. The spermatozoa 30%, the ova, the egg 70%, 70 plus 30, 100%. Now, if the sperm cell contains only 30% nucleus, and the someone is giving credit to the male that contributed to your existence, and neglecting the female, which is the dominant creation that gave birth to your existence, there is a hidden secret. The person played you that prank. Now, ọ bụrụ na nwaanyị na-ewepụta 70% ife dị n'ime mmadụ, nwoke wee na-ewepụta sọsọ 30%, kedu ife eji na-ekwu okwu gbasara nke nwoke rapụ nke nwaanyị? Ikwu nne, ife mere afọ ikwu nne ji dị mkpa na ndụ mmadụ. Ife mere ikwu nne ji dị mkpa na ndụ mmadụ. Why your maternal home must not be neglected at all costs. Now, the problem is this. Someone did not tell you that your maternal home is a place where the dominant power that formed you is. Ha gwara gị na ikwu nne gị bụ ebe ike mmebele iji bụrụ mmadụ si. They introduced the concept of surname, and the surname only gave credit to the paternal side and forgot about the maternal side. That is the first problem of every African. If I was so is in this Oji, they have taught us to forget our mothers and hold on to our father. And I will tell you this without apology. In everything taught in spirituality, even in Nkuzi Eme-Oji, he are fully traces of perfect science. He are from Tona and Mota each and Nimia. Can you family why is maternal home very potent? Number one answer. Because 70% of what is in you came from your mother. Only 30% came to your father, from your father. That is why children tend to have affinity with the mother more than the father. That is why after Omugwo is post natal care. You see the woman packing many goodies, and they will send only alcohol, hot drink, dry gin to the father. Touch your neighbor. See na wine bụ ife. Wine bụ ife. The embodiment of every human being capitalize on the 70% of the egg. And note this, if the sperm cell is not active, it can take up to 71%, and the sperm will give only 29%. if the agility of the sperm is not reinforced, if the agility of the sperm is not reinforced, you will notice that the egg will occupy about 71% and the sperm will give only 29%. That is the first lie in the Bible, that Adam was created from the rib, that Eve was created from the ribs of Adam. The first lie in the Christian Bible, the first lie in the Torah. And if a book started with lie, everything about the book should be questionable. How can the creator come from the created? How can the creator come from the created? The creator is the woman. The created is the man. And I am saying it again. If Chukwu must take gender, then Chukwu must take a feminine gender, not masculine. Do you know, in the Igbo understanding of our spirituality and the cosmos, the word chi is a feminine spirit. And that is why people who understand indigenous spirituality knows that chi is greater than okechi. When we say chi is a feminine pronoun, but when we say okechi is a masculine figure. And that is why I look at our brothers who says okite. I begin to laugh, because if they really understood the concept of ite, Munite is stronger than okite. But you know, I'm not an advocate of okite. I sincerely hate it. Munite is even stronger than okite, because anything that is feminine is more potent. Deities that are feminine are more potent. Energies that are feminine are more potent. So who told you what you people call God? Who told you that God is a he instead of a she? You know, I've told you people it is an insult to call Chukwu God. But for the context of the teaching, I'll be referring to what you call God as Chukwu or the Almighty. If the Almighty must take a gender, then it must be a feminine gender, not masculine. That is why when the Igbos begin to gratify, the first place we make reference to is our maternal home. The surname is the first prank the Europeans played Africans, and they disconnected us from our source of power. And our potency was reduced so low that we begin to find our identity very miniature in the world. Today's topic is this: the potency of names and the efficacy of maternal home. The potency of names and the efficacy of maternal homes. When you understand that 70% of what makes you come from your maternal home, then you must learn that also chubawata obanani kunye. When they get back to you, if they want to teach you, when they want to do hero for you, when they want to do hero, what the Hebrew people call bar mitzvah, because they copied everything we did. The first thing they will do for you is to acclimatize you with the pantheons and the ordinance of your maternal home. Atole nologago, agebuzo, kuzielegu ordinana na nsosi ni ikwu nne gị. I repeat, atole ragu, ga-ebu ụzọ kụzielu gị a ga-ebu ụzọ kụzielu gị ike si n'ikwu nne gị. Na ngekwe m ntị, ife ọbụla bụ ike si n'ikwu nne gị bongo, ife ọbụla bụ ike si n'ikwu nne gị na-egekwe ntị, ife ọbụla si n'ikwu nne gị bụ mmụọ izizi a ga-ebu ụzọ kụzielu gị. Now, when I said 90% of your problem comes from yourself, this is what I meant. Your maternal home, when you so, there is something your maternal home abhors. But you don't know. You are only observing that. Society, I greet you. You are only observing that which your paternal home abhors. You will not rise to your full potential. When you appease the deities of your paternal home, you are only working with 30% effectiveness. But if you appease the deity of your maternal home, you are working with 70% effectiveness. Then if you appease the both deities, maternal and paternal, you are now working in 100% effectiveness. Now, if your maternal home is stronger than your paternal home, what made our people to accept the white man's name of using the surname system instead of our identity system, which was this? Listen to me. In the ancient time, we don't ask a man, what is your name? Mbebo. They don't teach us, they don't ask questions like, Gene Bafagi. If I na do Mabebo, or there Mogi, or near Mogi, we don't ask, what is your name? When we ask people, who begot thee? Who begot thee? Who begot thee? Who begot thee? When someone asks you who begot thee, the person has given you an open paper to note down, number one, the posterity, the genealogy of your maternal home versus your paternal home. Now, I will now ask my viewers, who begot thee? Or if you ask me the question, what I will tell you is this. Now, Maazi Dibia, Buche Chukwu Obiajono, Buada Ndi Gboo Chokwe Mmadụ bụ eze bụ isi ọma, nwụrụ n'igbe ala nri aka m na-atọghị n'ikem. I've mentioned my ancestry, my maternal ancestry. Chokwe, my grandfather, Chokwe Mwanyi Ebe, Nwa Abeze. Nke bụ Ada Ndị Gboo ji ike, bụ Ọkpakụ, Nwa Nnodo Mụtara. I've mentioned like 4th generation to the 5th of my maternal home. Nke bụ ndị ọkpara onye Efficacy Gboo bụ nwa Uchechukwu nwa Ekweọnụ ọbụ na ndụ bụ ndị bụ Oji akọ na ogbobiri aka m na-ata ama aja ala. I've mentioned 4th to 5th generation of my paternal home. That's why if they ask you your name, it's like an open-ended essay. And when you chant on your ancestors, you give credit to genealogy. Chanting on the names of at least 4th generation that contributed to your existence. Starting from your maternal home, the taproot of your existence. Funny enough, the Bible took cognizance of this. In Matthew chapter 1, from verses 1 to 17, they listed 42 generations of Jesus. That is the greatest scam I've seen in the Bible. The truth in plain face. They listed 42 generations of Jesus. And someone had the effrontery to tell you that ancestral recognition is not relevant. I saw one half-baked preacher ranting on social media in a post that if you are praying to your ancestors, you are sick. And I was asking, who is this charlatan? When you recognize your ancestors, you are even fulfilling what is written in your own Bible. Exodus 20, verse 13. Honor thy father and thy mother, so that thy days may be long. So the principle of longevity is by the reverence of our ancestors. Please, those requesting for my number, that number is no longer mine. I'm giving it to my PA. Reduce the way you people call me. My head then they fall. Matthew chapter 1, 1 to 17. Your Bible listed 42 generations of Jesus. If I ask you, can you name 5 generations of yourself? You cannot. Ordinary 5. 5 generations, you cannot. But Matthew started from verse 1. The New Testament started listing 42 generations. And after giving us the lineage of Jesus, they stupidly still told you that Jesus came from heaven, and you believe them. Stupid Africans without common sense. They told you that 42 generations begot Jesus. They even mentioned maternal and paternal, male and female. Remember today's topic, the effectiveness of maternal home and the potency of indigenous name. Na ike dị n'afa gị na eze afọ Igbo ma ọ bụ afọ onye Igbo. Now, if they could trace 42 generations of Jesus, what then connect Jesus to heaven? Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people perish due to lack of common sense. Someone brought out time and listed 42 generations that brought about Jesus. And the same person lied to you. I actually finished my seminary school and I graduated top of my class. My classmate can tell you. So, if your generation is not important, why did they start your New Testament with genealogy? Now listen to me, follow me. For those telling you that your ancestors are not relevant. Now listen to this. Genesis 38, one of the ancestors of Jesus mentioned in Matthew chapter 1, verses 3 and 4 was Judah. And I wanted to trace if the ancestors of Jesus were so pure. For those people commenting rubbish all the time, telling me that our ancestors did this and did that, for that they don't deserve to be reverenced, this is the answer you will give them. Tell them that one of the ancestors of Jesus, which was Judah, the man you people are calling the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the 4th son of Jacob, he actually slept with her daughter-in-law. I repeat, Judah Genesis chapter 38, read from verse 1. Judah mana Bible ka na obi denye afa Judah na Bible ewere ya na ebe ekpele nna nwochi ọlalụ nwunye nwa ya Judah who go na nwoke ịtara nwa niile taa ma nwunye nwa gị yet Bible ji ga-ekpe ekpele nna gị ochie ọlalụ nwunye nwunye Judah ọlalụ nwunye nwunye ka nna ajụ unu. Verse 6 made mention of another person, Rahab. You all know of Rahab as one of the ancestors of Jesus. And what did Rahab do? Rahab was that prostitute known as Jericho. Rahab was Rahab known as Jericho. Ancestors of Jesus, I'm a lonely I'm a campaign of our Munede. Manami know the day in the Bible. Now we are Rahab the Asso. Oji Nkuzi Kezaya Yomunju, honor of Rahab. Manami know the day in the Bible. If engineer be her, but Makanda will go to open the Nayochi, a Gusavalum. Ife family na drama ana ma gosa ife ndi na-echi Jesus omel and you be there in the Bible. I am recounting all the evil that the ancestors of Jesus did and they have the effrontery to write it in the Bible. Judah slept with his daughter-in-law. He was recorded in the Bible. Rahab ashawo kuno na Jericho. On no Jesus come. Then verse 7 gave us the general overseer Nathanwa. David one name. David is one of the ancestors of Jesus. Noted in Matthew chapter 1 from verses 1 to 17. David Natajanwa. Oh David Tagidelunwa. One no Nata Kanata Denwa. David Tagidelunwa. Ubibeze nwunye mmadụ ka ọ wee taa ya ogbuo di gị ọ taa gị akwa mpịdị na nwoke. So if the genealogy of Jesus have ancestors of questionable character, what did your ancestor do that will make you to reject them? If you like, tell me Judah didn't do it intentionally. Ọtara ka ọtara nwa. Okay, Judah didn't do it intentionally. But Rahab was a well-known akwampelo. Ochie dike no munede. Odogu na boringo. Onye ka Rahab bo. Rahab ji key 306. No odogu na Jericho. Otagire nwa bia ka otama mama Joshua na Caleb. Tagide nwa dweko otama mama Joshua na Caleb. Rahab etago ọbụna ọnụwa kịta afọ Rahab ya bụ Kezaya Iyomunju. Kezaya Iyomunju. So Rahab tagidelu nwa chọọ ịta ma ndị amụma and you are not bothered. If Rahab have the effrontery to be listed in your Bible as one of the ancestors of Jesus, show me one thing that your ancestor did that would deserve you not to reference them. That is the point I'm trying to make. Now, when we mention the general overseer from North, which is King David, who happens to be an ancestor of Jesus, a man who is so good in his job that he kills people's husband just to sleep with their wife. Judah, Rahab, and David. David, Judah, and Rahab, the three things that you must remind everybody who told you to dishonor your ancestors because they didn't get it right. Tell them that if Judah, Rahab, and David will make their place into the Bible, Okeke, Okafo, Okonkwo, Okoye, and Mboke, Mboye, Mbafo, and Mbonkwo deserve every right to be in their chronicles for their great achievement to the contribution of your existence. Somebody na kawa na de aba na kawa bi na asusu Igbo na ya boze Lahab ona le boy Lahab ebe ne na Bible mi obi denye na Bible mana nsigi ka toro ndị nna go ochie nzu. You begin to tell them that they don't deserve to be there. Rahab. Now, one of the ancestors of Jesus, again, is our compiler Solomon. Solomon. In fact, Jesus is a product of Itanwa because in his lineage, someone was killed. If they did not kill, what is the name of that soldier that was sent to the battlefront by David? If they did not kill him, will Bathsheba becomes David's wife? So after all this, they have the mind to write them in your Bible. They even called David a man after God's own heart. Haba. Touch your neighbor and say, if you know honor your ancestors, you be mumu. They sent Uriah to the battlefield. I'm not gonna go and die. Can't you win your tapia? Uriah, go and die. Can't you win your kota? They killed to even time one. Tell me one thing your ancestors did. But that is not the teaching for the day. Remember, I am telling you the efficacy of your name and the potency of your maternal home. Now, to understand this better, do you really understand the analogy I made using the genealogy of Jesus? If you understood this, comment your location. Let's continue. Comment your location. Let's continue. When someone tells you your ancestor did this, tell them if David can find its place in the Bible to be proudly recorded as an ancestor of Jesus. Okay, my father, have every right to be recorded in the chronicles of ancestors. Okoye Okafo, Okoko, Mboke Mboye, Mbafo Mbonko, Nwabu, Okilo, Oluwa. All our ancestors have the right to be recorded. Tell me one thing your ancestor did. Was as what David did. Have anybody in your lineage killed their fellow man just to cover their wife? Nobody. But David did it. And the Bible have effrontery to say that he's a man after God's own heart. And shame no catch you who have neglected your ancestors. Then go to from one go rasini meneku no ekabu bunabu kamuni abi alolo fono pinama futandiri na manola sifa ni Igbo ekunigo ni Igbo ya amala onwe fife. Arise and shine, for thy light has come. May the glory of our ancestors be rekindled in our life, and may we find our path to reconnect to our roots. Ise, Ashe, Ishe. Let me continue my teachings. It's only Africans that someone came and told you that the angels of the Almighty only have English names. Angel Gabriel, Angel Uriel, Angel Raphael, Angel Michael. But if I mention Udo, Ogugu, Wanosike, Amadioha, Ekwensu, you begin to see it as evil. Let me continue on my teaching. Why is your maternal home so potent? Because 70% of you comes from your maternal home. For that reason, you must not throw away your maternal surname. I repeat, you must not throw away your maternal surname. Henceforth, my children must bear my surname and their maternal surname. When we call on our ancestors, those who are sent unto us, Ndichie, Mezumezu. Look at my hand. Ndichie, Mezumezu. In Igbo spirituality, we call them the Akapo. The Akapo. 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 Nichie ezumezu no mwada. Those who contributed to your existence. Let me give you a simple thing you will understand. When your father was consummating love with your mother that yielded you, do you know, even only if that man did ordinary withdrawal method, Aki is such a bed sheet. I repeat, when nagi na body oba na nagi, obu na woke aseputali ifa, wosi anana. Aswagi na j-sheet nke ya aga anụpama. Ordinary welu nzuke na nwoke na-agbapụrụ na bedsheet. Ụmụaka one ka iwunyego n'okpu nnabenyi. Kenezie nwoke na-awụnyere gị n'okpu nnabenyi. Ọmịrị itu uwe ya na ana, asụọ na bedsheet nke ya aga. Even only if your father even only if your father did withdrawal, they would have washed you off, take pain a bedsheet. So many years. And I ask you, reverence that man. Reverence that woman that was lying one side for 9 months. And you said no. Through reverence, worship is completed. Sitemi vendo kovuve diabeni sinjedebe. Excuse me for 5 minutes, let me drink water and come back. Meanwhile, enjoy this song from efficacy. The song he dedicated to the church madness.
Language mode. Connected.
A lot of people not feeling it. The past, no woman, the past, but the sellers. I are from the body, but then no make it. No, the fellow take the back of
Yes, welcome back. So far so good. My topic remains. The music title is Omumendoka, but the song is yet to be released. I am possibly, if I'm not wrong, the first person playing it to a wider audience. The owner of the song is efficacy. The guy that played Achom Misigi, wa Misigi Perawa, Ejimafo. He sent me this song, said he did this song to support the ministry. That I should play with the audience, and I asked him, have you released the song? He said no. I said, okay, so this is efficacy, using his musical talent to campaign for the madness and the sanity of Igbo land. So if we want to go further, the song we drop when we demand for it. Now, now going further, you as a person who is in your 30s, 40s or 50s, you've left your ancestors' homeland. Listen, and you are in abroad. Some of you were in prison for some years. Some of you was working in the vineyard for the Europeans for years only to get documents. Some of you seek asylum in Europe for 5 years or more. Some of you was subjected to very demeaning situation to get documents. And at the end of the day, you are fighting, struggling to send feeding money to your children in Nigeria. And the children grows tomorrow. And say that your contribution as their father. Haven't you found out that you failed? Haven't you found out that you failed? I don't know if any of my moderator is on the live stream, but if they are on the live stream, they should kindly drop my answer. Somebody said I should paste my account number so he will buy data for us. So I'm saying, if the moderators are there, drop my Kuda account for them. 200 2029 777 200 2029 777 is a Kuda app. Someone can help me and pin it. 200 2029 777. We must understand the potency of the maternal home. Why did I say 90% of your problem comes from your maternal home? This is the reason. Your maternal home is the place where every stronghold that made you come from. The stronghold that made you. The stronghold that made you come from your maternal home. I just pinned the account. I just pinned the account. 220-29-777. 70% of what makes you comes from your maternal home. This is something you men should understand. Even if you want to pick a wife and you are very intelligent, knowing that the gene of a woman will dominate in the constitution of the child, which means if you want to have a kid or kids with very smart brain, you should make sure that the wife is also smart, because the wife will release 70%. Now my question now becomes, why do you need your maternal home? First answer, because 70% of what makes you comes from there. Second answer, because if you can save yourself from the trouble of your maternal home, your paternal trouble is not really much. The name of the account is Kuda Bank. You will see a name that says Uche Chukwu. The person that wrote 201-294, you are scamming people. That is not my account. 201-294-4237. You are a scam, and you regret trying such nuisance in my site. Mweze Kinsley, pasting your account is a very heinous crime, and you might go to jail for it. We must understand. Me where is verse even block him. We must understand that your maternal home contains 70% of your solution and 70%. KC, you type it wrongly. It is 220-29-777. Itugide mbada weto ya na page m atọ ndị na-alụsi ogbuoru. Itugide ọrụ weto ya na page m eburu gị na ndụ enwuru ọ bụrụ ite gbara onwe. So your maternal home contains 70% of your problem and 70% of your solution. Please, which other pass mark? In exam, if you score 70, you never pass. 70% of what is in you comes from your maternal home. 70% of what will save you comes from your maternal home. 70% of what will put you in trouble comes from your maternal home. 70% of what will excel you, will save you from harm, comes from your maternal home. So, haven't you seen that maternal home is very, very effective? I have pinned an account number on the screen. Now, look at my explanation. The sperm cell contains 30. the egg contains 70, which means you must also try to keep record of what is happening in your maternal home. Some of us have never visited their maternal home since we were born. Some of us have never visited our maternal home. Somebody say account is writing error. Then you use my UBA 205 708 7474. 205 708 7474. You will see the name that says Uche Chukwu Obiajolo. Let's continue the teaching. When you get to your maternal home, try and acclimatize with everything in your maternal home. Your maternal home, very, very important. Maternal home. In fact, you must include your maternal home in your names. I have pinned the account for you. Let's continue. Let's not allow the issue of account to distract us. When you understand that your maternal home is the main root of your problem or of your solution, how you cannot be far away from your maternal home and you expect all to be well for you. In fact, you must include your maternal surname in your name. Yes, Kennedy, that is my account. You must include your maternal home in your name. If your maternal name is Okafo and your paternal name is Okeke and your name is Wankwo, your name should be Okeke Okafo, Okeke dash Okafo, then Wankwo. That is why sometimes when you request for Afa, they will be calling your paternal home. Maybe your Onyowa is not from your paternal home. The Afa will not be able to reveal much information there. But immediately they include your maternal name, the Ugly will begin to gossip everything. So when you want to do Afa, if you really want the Afa priest or the Ifa priest to give you much details, include your maternal and paternal names. You get why? Please, typing of account is no longer allowed. It's okay. Let's focus on the knowledge. If you want to get the correct answer from Afa, include your maternal name. You get why? Keda fambi kunnegi. Keda fambi kunnegi. Don't digress from the teaching of the day because we are going there small. Keda fambi kunnegi. Atobi balgafa. Osibike asana Afa be much. Afa is not revealing much about you. Include your maternal name. And Afa will vomit. Because there is no way your maternal home will come. Imagine Afa, you call your father's name alone. Alpha is giving you 30% revelation. But immediately you included your maternal name. Let me tell you, men, a real man is not threatened by his children answering their maternal name. That was how it was done in the time past. In fact, before the arrival of the Europeans, Igbo people upheld their maternal name even more firmly. Ikunna dịka mkpa n'omenala Igbo. Without your ikunne, you are not complete. So when a priest is doing alpha for you, you must make sure you include your maternal name. Now let me leak another secret for you. Listen to this. So, fought me anywhere. In ancient time in Igbo land, you cannot be a chief priest of a deity if your mother, I repeat, if your mother is not from that same village. I repeat, you cannot be a chief priest of a deity if your mother is not from that same town. Not possible. Go and ask any old Dibia. Imam Kweza mmụọ na nne gị esiri n'obodo a wee pụtakwa. Do you know why? They believe that it is the mother that imbibes the cultures and tradition, the ordinance into the children. Also, in the advent of colonial invasion, when we started using kingship instead of priesthood, because I've been telling you people, it is the priest that led the community. Okay? Before the colonial masters introduced kingship, do you know that if you are to be crowned a king and the prince, the mother of the prince, or the person that is about to be crowned, the mother is not from that village, the person cannot rule the people? Do you know? Let the father's name come first. Put dash and put the maternal name. Now, do you also know? Listen. In present day Israel, do you know you can easily get citizenship if your mother is an Israeli, even if your father is not an Israeli? But you cannot get citizenship if your father is only an Israeli and your mother is not an Israeli. Do you know this? You can Google and confirm. Everybody know the potency of Yukunne. But you, the originator of that knowledge, have left the knowledge. Do you know you can combine your maternal and paternal name to make it very sexy? I see someone writing Okoloto. You may not even separate them if there is no need for separation. You must include your maternal name in your names. You get why? So when you say the words like ezumezu, meaning the summation of everything in my lineage, ezumezu, your father's name first, your mother's name follows. then your last name is your name. Somebody asked me, what if the surname of your mama is the same thing with your father's surname? For example, your surname is Okolo, your mother's maiden name is Okolo. You've given yourself a new name, Okolo Nambo. If your name is Okolo, your maternal name is Okolo, and your name is Ijoma, your new name will be Okolo Nambo Ijoma, Okolo Nambo, Okolo squared in English, Okolo Nambo. Someone asks, what if you have an identical surname, both maternal and paternal? Example of this is happening with my own child. The Uchechukwu versus the Uchechukwu. You can write it whichever way you know how to coin it. You can sleep and your ego will teach you the best way to coin it. Why is it that someone said, why is it even in SIM registration they always ask of your maiden name? Viewers all over the world, you must pay cognizance to the reverence of your maternal home. That is where 70% of your problem and 70% of the solution will come from. If you can be in peace with your maternal deities and the energies and forces of your maternal home, then I can boldly tell you, you really don't have a problem. Honestly, what of kids born out of wedlock? I love this one because I told you that today will be question and answer, and I've emphasized on the teaching. But before I answer the question on kids born out of wedlock, I made two statements. I said, my topic is to teach you the potency of your maternal home and the potency of your indigenous name. I will be quoting an excerpt from the Christian Bible, so you can tell your pastor. Numbers chapter 6, verse 27. Numbers isi nke isi, amaokwu nke ọgụ na asaa. Numbers isi nke isi, amaokwu nke iri abụọ na asaa. Numbers chapter 6, verse 27. Bible ndị ọcha wetara unu ọsị unu gịnị? Na unu ga-agbalịrị mbọ na-aba ụmụ unu afa m. Get you? This is what the Bible wrote there. And I will make a teaching from there before I start answering questions. Please, the person that asked me about wedlock, immediately I start responding to questions. Repeat that question again. Now, for example, Numbers 6:27 says, and thou you shall name thy children according to the name of the children of Israel. The God of Israel. You should name thy children. That word Israel, many people have been thinking that Israel means a name of a country. But I'm here to debunk the teaching today. Open your ear. Those who love to screenshot and repost, so you quote me correctly. I repeat, the name Israel is not the name of a country. Rather, it is a name of three deities. I repeat, the word Israel is not a name of a country. It is originally the name of 3 deities. They made it a country to corrupt the original intent of the name formation. In ancient Egypt, when it was called Kemet, there are 3 names that was revered as one of the holiest deities of that time. The 3 deities, number 1, Isis, number 2, Amen-Ra, number 3, El-Olam. Isis, Amen-Ra, and El-Olam. That's why it's only Africans that call it Israel. They themselves know it is not Israel. That's why they always call it, to remember those 3 deities, and they call it Israel. How do you spell Isis? I-S-I-S. They took 2 letters from it, Is. How do you spell Amen-Ra? The one you shout after your prayer. When you are done praying, you say Amen. The holiest name of that deity, Amen, is called Ra. That is the R-A in the center. Then the masculine deity, El-Olam, is El in abbreviation. Isis, feminine deity. Ra, the sun deity. And El, the masculine deity. The trinity deities that you thought was the name of a country. Isis, Amen-Ra, and El-Olam. Now, for those in Judaism, they have confused you to believe that El means Chukwu. I am here to tell you that El was an ancient Canaanite deity. Amen-Ra, ancient Egyptian deity. So the name must be Isis, Amen-Ra, and El-Olam. So Isis, the first deity, Amen-Ra, the second deity, El-Olam, the third deity, the trinity that gave you Israel. Because originally, that place was called Upper Kemet. So when you hear the church saying, listen to this, Atonimo Ndi Ngozi, I told you in my live stream, I'll be revealing wisdom from the ancient people. No can you see so. Atonimo Ndi Ngozi, 3 deities in one, Isis, Amen-Ra, and El-Olam. Atonimo Ndi Ngozi. Amusina tokunne belmanu na amaro. Imeti I born Israel. Ndi Igbo abron di Israel. We are older than many civilizations on earth, including India. Our contribution in Ethiopia and the ancient Sumeria was recorded in the tablets of Gilgamesh, the emerald tablet of Tahuti, and even the table stone at Inwish. And you have the mind to tell me this Israel. I challenge you to bring one scholar who can prove to me that Igbos came from Israel, and I will burn myself alive. Have you seen someone saying such? You bring one scholar that can prove that Israel gave birth to Igbo land. But if I show you how we gave birth to several civilizations, shame will become theirs. We are the sons and daughters of eternity who have stood the test of time, that has completed the 4 phases of era. Ogaka, Ogachi, Ogamu, Ogazi. We have returned back in the days of Ogamu to rekindle the testament and the chronicles of our ancestors. You won't be seen nice Israel. Keteba la chapoanya. You don't know who you are. So when you hear Israel, Ndi Ngozi, the ancient three deities worshipped in ancient Kemet, Isis, Amen-Ra, and Elulam. You are the ones that created many civilizations, and you don't know. The same thing you did in time past, you are doing it now. The glory of Lagos State was built on the backbone of Igbos. The glory of Ivory Coast was built on the backbone of Igbos. The glory of Congo Kinshasa, the Igbos are doing it. The glory of Ethiopia, the ancestors did it. Even the glory of Egypt, we even taught the Egyptians our own deity. One of our deities that is still evident in Egypt is the one you people call Anubis. You can bring anybody that will come for debate, but we must be betting 1 million naira. The winner will take. I wouldn't be doing debate for free again. I'll bring out 1 million and stake. If the person wins, I give him. But if he loses his 1 million. You can't generate debate on 1 million if the person wants. I'm up for debate. Anytime, any day. You don't need to give me time. 1 million naira. If the person is willing, I bet. Come away from it and I'm in a debate. Your ancestors contributed to every civilization. Even the Indians said that the Harappan civilization is credit to us. Go and research about the Harappan civilization. Harappan. And in one point, Western is Israel. Jacob, so foolish of Africans to think of Jacob. There is no person recorded in history with the name Jacob. The original person they plagiarized his story was a pharaoh from ancient Egypt called Pharaoh Jakuba. Research and thank me later. Jakher. Pharaoh Jakuba. Go and research about Pharaoh Jakuba, and tears will flow from your eyes. Everything written in your Bible was coded, and you don't know. They are trying to speak with a hidden language, and you think that the Bible is a history book. Anybody using the Bible as a source of history is a fool. And that's why they convinced our people and told them that the name Obuga is now Obugad. And I went there and told them, if you repeat that madness again and mention that place, Obugad again, Nando. If you can't call it Obuga, an Obu that has stood the test of time. For those saying you seem to forget what Israel means in the Hebrew language. Or the Hebrew language in Kent Agamalo, if you don't have 1 million naira, don't come for debate. You must lose something so that you have respect for me. No need you come from Gaza. I made an open challenge and said, when we dug up the Woku road port, they stopped digging. But if it's Egypt, they will continue digging. And I gave my life in exchange. I said, let us dig. I will mention 4 places in Igbo land. Let us dig them. But I will not say it again on camera, because they will come there and begin to do research. If they don't find a civilization older than Egypt, that I am staking my life for it. I told you I'm a product of reincarnation and you are doubting me. I have been here before and I remember vividly, because my pioneer ground is working to a great extent. And you are lying to yourself that you are from Israel. Woe betide you. All you Africans that are always suffering identity crisis. You want to be relevant. You are choosing Gaza of yesterday. If anybody want to come for debate, 1 million naira is the pay. At least. From 1 million, we can start talking. So that if you lose something. 1 million, each ifum ito onye si ebe o si osi ka o debate ya ndị mmekọtazi ego debate iwelu Google na-echekizi ihe ihe ekwu. For those calling us Al-Kebulan, it was the Arabian who killed our people for 1,300 years that gave us that name. It's not even a good name. Al-Kebulan, it was given to us by the Arabians. So I don't like that name. We are the gods that walked on earth. Even in the advent of the great Anunnaki, we were here. That's why when we hear some folklore telling about the origin of our ancestors, they will always tell you something. They will tell you that this person fell from the sky. Listen, fell from the sky. People begin to say, how can someone fall from the sky? Because they did not teach you of what we call Imoikiri. Levitation. In the days of Ogachi, our ancestors have the ability to levitate. Till today, Biabem Nandina Ikiri Kanko. Come and see astral traveling, teleportation. Is rampant in our place. And when the Anunnaki gave us the first laboratory manufactured human being, which they call the Andaman, who are presently living in Ross Island in India today. And they said, it's written, the Anunnaki said, I have made a man out of my hand. He called them Andaman. They copied the nonsense and put it in the Bible and said, God said, let us make man. Gullibility of if Adam was the first man on earth, and the story of Adam is about 6,000 years, and the smallest pyramid in Giza is 13,000 years. Where was Adam before the pyramid was made? And we are talking of Usude pyramid and the ancient Idu pyramid, present day Benin City, which is far older than the Giza pyramid, and you are not thinking. I've told you how the San people created the Asians, the San tribe of Africa, the San tribe, S-A-N, the San tribe gave us what you have as Japan, China, Korea today. They migrated from here and developed that civilization. The ancient Qing dynasty came from Africa. The Tasmanians, who are the Aborigines of Australia, came from Africa. You don't know who you are. The Indians came from Africa. That was why when they destroyed the University of Kemet, the Moorish University of Cordoba, the University of Tutankhamun, at the Temple of Tutankhamun, do you know they even went to India? The University of Timbuktu in Mali, they destroyed it. They ended their job in the University of Nalanda in India, destroyed the University of Nalanda. 2 years after, they opened their own university, so that we will not remember that we taught them every day. Every damn thing they know, they copied from Africa. Civilization started from here. The same pattern Igbos have been using in time past is what we are still using today. Igbo people will forget their home to be developing other cities. They did it with Ethiopia, did it with Egypt, did it with Idu, and left their main suburb, their main origin. They are still doing it today. They have developed Lagos. They have developed China. They have developed everywhere. But home is empty. The knowledge of history would have helped Igbo people to think home. But because it is in their DNA to migrate, ubiquity is in their DNA. They migrate, build empires and civilization. But come home, nothing much to write home about. Shame on us. When I look at Lagos, I go to Banana Island, I see things that give me tears. How the Igbos will cover water and build mansions, but back in our house, nothing to write home about. The same mistake we did in Ethiopia, the same mistake we did in Egypt, the same mistake we did in ancient India, the same mistake we are making today. Lagos is blossoming. Abuja is a sky city. We are developing every nation, but our homeland is nothing to write home about. Go to Ivory Coast, ask of a place called Cafe Biafra, and see what the Igbos have done there. Go to Congo, go and see what the Igbos have done there. Go to Douala, go to Yaoundé in Cameroon, see what the Igbos have done there. Qu'est-ce que le problème? Alors là, back home is nothing. History is repeating itself because we've lost the identity of home. My brother was telling me something today. He told me of Agalinambo, the problem of every woman, the Agalinambo. He spoke it also in Yoruba. He told me of what we call Awori Meji, Agalinambo, the concept of Ikenga, the duality consciousness of productivity. Before now, listening to this, the Igbo man was functioning with Agalinambo, which is productivity. But we neglected Agalinambo and focused on Agaliovu, which is money. Have you understood the language now? When you hear someone say Agaliovu, Agaliovu is ego, the consciousness of money. But we forgot the Agalinambo, which is the mantra for productivity. So in seeking money, in seeking Agaliovu, we forgot Agalinambo. The same mistake the Akapos did, we are repeating. And I can tell you without apology, there is no freedom for Igbo nation until you remember your ancestors. Without the knowledge of ancestors, thou can never be free. Mark my word. In pursuit of Agaliovu, you forgot Agalinambo. Agalinambo, productivity. Agaliovu, money. But not knowing that Agalinambo will engender money. You strive for Agaliovu and forget Agalinambo. Why don't we begin to speak? Why don't we begin to teach the concept of Agalinambo? My brother was telling me this thing. I was like, you made me shed tears, but you don't know. He told me, Maazi, when will the Igbos understand the concept of Agalinambo? What the Yoruba is called Awori Meji. Why don't we remember the concept of ego less, but focus more on the concept of productivity? When you become productive, money will come. But if you follow money, productivity will die. And that is why, by the virtues of our Agalinambo, the Igbos understood the need for skill acquisition. We resonated the consciousness of our algo, our pioneer gland, awakening our cosmos to accept frequencies and communication from the metaphysical We were inventors. We were nation builders. We were creative. We did many things by creativity. Our ego was at its climax. We don't need much in soft education. We believe more in technology, in Kanozu. And they told you don't need that. You only need to spend 6334 years, 6334 system, and learn only how to speak white man English. Igbo, they gave you the concept of Agali Ovu, and you forgot Agali Nambo. Agali Nambo. Creativity, productivity, the summation of everything that builds a nation. Now, they introduce a new trend that is destroying our youth today. They call it Etwal. Everybody is toiling all on the system. Nobody is learning skills. My question now becomes, which skills would the Igbo youth have? Mbana efe ndị ọcha, kedu ife ejizimalụ ndị Igbo? Unu nta niile n'ọrụ West Fargo, mbana efe ndị ọcha, kedu ife ya na-alụzi? Kedu ndị na-akwa nka? Kedu ndị na-akwa ụzụ? Kedu ndị na-agba boys ada agbasi boy? Everybody etizi mgbe ọcha ya akwụrụ n'ụgwọ. When you go to shrine to make some declaration, you hear some wicked statement they are coming. That's why you hear that Dibia is now being rated richest native doctor, because we are promoting evil. Ọcha ya akwụrụ n'ụgwọ. If you say such before my day, it will go. Take it or leave it. And I'm saying it. Yes, so but that is the only survival mechanism. I don't care. Some of them are ibukwa aka ọbala adịkwa ama ama. Ọsọ gị were ego benz na-alụ 44 deki mgbe ọ ya adị pịa gị ịtarị asịkwana na m agwara gị. In ọdịnala Igbo, nothing goes unpunished. Kama when you reincarnate and come back, ụgwọ iji eji edezi oge na faịlụ ya akwụ gị bịa. When would the Igbos remember the consciousness for creativity? Why are we so quick to amass success? Nobody is interested again in gradual process. Nobody is interested in gradual process. Welcome to 21st century, when the mothers are inciting their children to commit murder. You see a mother telling the child, "Oh no, brother, God say begin no dekino. If I was bagoku no fa, in a lodaja, imali fi begin ememe, that's only begin balana no bono. Mbomu yebuye, iba kwa le aja na etibuogi." You must wake up from your slumber. When a nation stop producing their own food, their lifespan has been reduced by 50 years. I repeat, we lived longer when we were farming ourselves. Do you know our ancestors spoke to the farm and the earth yielded increase? Ana akọji ọ na-agwa ji okwu sị na gị bụ ji gị bụ ana mụ na gị dị na mma na mụ na gị kpara alụ na nke ọ ga-anọ n'asaa nrọpụ gị na nke asatọ ka izuo ike. Nke ọ ga-arụ isii nrọpụ gị na nke asaa ka izuo ike. Ya mere na gị bụ ana na ihe emere m oke ji mmeji wee mee ifiji ọkụ ọ jewara ifiji ọkụ ọjị tụọrịa nzu si ya na-emekwa anya na anị ya aja ana ekwela ka ifele mee m ogwugwu nwe ntụ ime mekwe ka ọ baalụ m ọgụdoche mmụọ oru mmụọ na nnụ mmụọ bụ ezi mmụọ ana na-emeji malụ pokopoko fa na-abịa na-agbalụ ụgụ na-agbalụ afịfịa eji esi nri ọ na-agwa afịfịa okwu they speak to the leaf. They speak to the plants. Oh, you plant in the leaves. Oh, you plant in my vineyard. When I make food with you, may you be a symbol of healing down to my consciousness. May my children tap from your glory, and may they remember to do same in time immemorial. But ketaze. Any chemical China can produce as fertilizer, we add it to our farm produce. We want mass production because we are a nation who could not have their own farmland. A nation who could not have their own farmland is doomed forever. A nation who could not produce their own food is doomed forever. That is why cancer has become the easiest trend of the day, killing us like fowl. Cancer, more is coming. Cancer, more is coming. When our nation lost the service of humanity and began to chase after material gains, we were sleeping. We allowed the white men to do everything for us. They came to our land, gave us AIDS in terms of immunization, and today they thought it would wipe us off. Our gene being recessive, even grown immune to the AIDS. And they will be like, which kind of people will be this? We've tried everything to kill them. When I watched the video of how the Europeans brought AIDS into Africa, I begin to shed tears because they accepted and they confessed that they actually brought AIDS into Africa. And you are buying everything made by them because you don't want to produce your own food. Enjoy this music while I take a 5 minutes break and drink some water.
But we never teach up with Massamala.
I'm trying to allow you to enjoy the song. Okay, that is it for the song. The title of the song is Wheelbarrow by Professor Chikobi Nanobi, Onyamume Egunesia. I only play my friend's music. Those days when I used to play music, I used to play alongside Chikobi and the glory days of his time, and he's still shining till today. But I have to leave music and focus on my album. You people don't know that I play music. Okay, don't worry. One day I will go with my old band and shock you people. So Chikobi is one of the musicians I respect. He's a friend and a brother, and we've come a long way. So I see meaning in his music. I don't just play music for playing sake. That's why I'm really not a highlight person. So I play music that resonates a message to the masses, to the youth. And one of the music that can give you such is Professor Chikobi's masterpiece. Chikobi from Unobi, who happens to be the son of Jeremiah Isachukwu, is a philosophical musician with a literary prowess when it comes to music composition. In fact, I can say he's the best in his game for those playing his musical genre. In the youth of his class, when you want to hear philosophical exposition and literally prowess, you must listen to Chikobi. Oda akaja negu. Oda akaja. And when you want to contribute, like maybe your great-grandfather have passed on and you want a tribute, Chikobi, I'll call tribute Chikobi, naturally advert Nina. He's a very good guy. So Facebook permit me to use that song as I use to entertain my fans. It belongs to my brother actually, so he's a friend and a brother. We've come a long way from very far time. So going further, I just played Chikobi's music now. One of Chikobi's songs I enjoy also is one of his songs that tickles my fancy. The one he called Onye Toloto Etogo. Onye Toloto Etogo. I love the song so much. So going further, have you learned something today? Now, to summarize my night class, you can see his song on Audio Mac. Every social platform, even YouTube, you will find his song. Once you type Prof Chikobi, POROF dot Chikobi, CHIKOBI. Another good song. Okay? He has made so many wonderful songs. Okay? He's a very great musician. So, have you learned anything tonight? Why you must venerate your maternal home? Why you must answer your indigenous name? The names you must answer must be indigenous to the pantheons of the land. That was why they told you in Numbers chapter 6 verse 27 that you must name your children according to the name of the God of Israel, the Isis, the Ra and El. If your name is not pointing to the indigenous pantheons of the land, that is the message in Numbers chapter 6 verse 27. I told you, when they encode a music, when they encode a word in their Bible, I have mastered how to decode it. So what they are telling you in Numbers chapter 6 verse 27, if you must name your children, it must have meaning and relevance and attachment to the indigenous pantheons, just like Isis, Amen-Ra, and Elolam. Have you learned something wonderful today? I wouldn't want to leave the teaching so long. I will only permit 2 questions, one from a woman and one from a man. We call it a night. So I am giving you the honor, be you a man or a woman, 1 question each. One question from the men, one question from the women, but as usual, ladies first. Ladies first. Ladies first. And we call it a night. I don't want to take you all the night, and if you can see, I am quite sick. But it's out of the passion to do the job that I came here. If you notice, I've been taking break off and on. I take my med, I come back, I continue. I have a very big sore on my throat. I have a very big sore on my throat. To the extent that if I spit out, you will see blood. Because I elapsed my vocal cord so high. But I will sort it out. So it's not easy for me. Why I'm saying this, I've thought about the star. If you want to hear about the star, go to the teaching. I've made teachings about the star. For those who enjoyed my class, you could remember the day I made the teachings on what they call the Star of David. I've made teachings concerning this. So if you want to know the truth, check for the teaching where I make this, demystifying the symbol. That symbol belongs to us. It doesn't belong to any David. Okay? Any question from man or woman, one man, one woman. Somebody, what of the kids born out of wedlock? Thank you. A lady asked that question. So if I answer this, I've answered for the women. When a child is born out of wedlock, it means that the man who impregnated the lady did not pay bride price. In Igbo land, it is obvious that the father of the girl child is the owner of the baby. So the child will be answering the maternal name. The child will be answering the maternal name because the father did not pay bride price. That is, I've answered the women. Maazi Dibia, please, my question is, does that mean that Jesus never existed? Jesus is an oil in your spinal cord. I repeat, Jesus is an oil in your spinal cord, which once every month, through the right meditation, you can ascend the oil into your pineal gland. That is another lie in the Bible. When they told you that Jacob slept and saw ladder coming down from heaven, and the angels were ascending and descending the heaven, that is not a true story. They are trying to talk about the pineal gland. I am saying the pineal gland is a home of consciousness, the third eye. That is that symbol you saw Big Brother using, the eye of Ra. The eye of Ra, the eye that sees all things. The pineal gland is an eye that is inside your brain, which when you begin to learn how to use it, you begin to be in another dimension. The word Christ is from the word karest, which means to anoint. And how do you anoint yourself? When you meditate once in a month, when the oil is about to ascend, the oil will ascend and come up to your cerebrospinal meningitis. And if you do more ascension, it will come into your pineal gland, the Holy of Holies. The third eye is what they are trying to call Jesus. Christ, Christ, Christ. Whenever you hear Jesus, they intentionally want to call the Son S-U-N, not S-O-N. Because Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7 says that your Bible God is still Satan. He said, I make good and I create evil. All this I, the Lord, makes. So what is Christ? That is why the bone that covers your pineal gland is 33 in number. Ask your medical doctors. There are 33 vertebrae that lined up like ladder. The same ladder they told you that Jacob saw in the dream. that covers your spinal cord. At the 33rd vertebrae, which is here, the oil is crucified. The oil dies to assimilate into the pineal gland. The crucifixion happens here. The crucifixion name. How many years was Jesus when he died? The same 33 years. The same 33 number of bones that your vertebrae covers your spinal cord. So everything you hear about Jesus is an allegory, a story with hidden meaning. It doesn't mean Jesus existed. Proof to show you that Jesus did not exist is Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6. If you read it in King James, you will think that Jesus existed. But when you read Exodus chapter 4 verse 22, you will notice that the Bible God already have a son. In Exodus chapter 4 verse 22, your Bible said, "And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn son." So how can the Bible God, who claimed in Psalm 12 verse 5 that before he says everything, he must have purified it in furnace 7 times, how can the Bible God tell us that Israel is his firstborn son, Isis, Amen-Ra, and El, and also told us again in John chapter 3 verse 16 that Jesus is his only begotten son? Somebody is lying to somebody. So for us to catch the liar, we have to read Matthew chapter 2 verse 15 to see how gullible the Bible is. In Matthew chapter 2 verse 15, we saw where the Bible tried to lie and said to confirm what was speaking of the Lord by the prophet. And I want to show you who is that prophet that made that prophecy. That prophet was Prophet Hosea. In the book of Hosea chapter 11 verse 1. In Hosea 11 verse 1, the Bible proved again that Jesus is not the Son of God. And the Bible said, when Israel was a son, I loved him and called him out of Egypt. So who is the Son of God? The 3 deities, Isis, Amen-Ra, and El. Kedarobnagunu, Anyang, Ogugu. Evidently, Exodus 25 verses 18 said, "And thou shalt mold me 2 cherubim." Verse 22, "Upon these cherubim will I Almighty commune with thee." So Chineke cannot speak with you without alose. Exodus 25 verse 22. Tell your pastors, I said, they have been lying because you are not researching. So with this viewpoint of mine, I've used the Bible to prove you to the Bible that the Bible is a big lie. Using the Bible to prove the Bible a liar. Until we expunge Western religion, Africa will know no peace. The Bible is a piece of lie encoded in manipulative statement. If you are not ready to understand it, it will become a two-edged sword that will lead you to your internal condemnation. Until Africa throw away the Bible and follow common sense and history, we can never make it. This is me signing out for today. I remember Maazi Dibia, the teaching magnet, Oji Nkuzi Eme-Oji, Signboard Ndi Nando, Okoloto Ndi Gboo, ekelekwa nge masigi sonyelum, tusalu mozi anine. Oya adilu numani na agwande mmadu. Sibia na new sheriff abatago. Onye na-eji nkuzi afia mmadu azo. Gwazie ndị ya dunu na Maazi Dibia na-ewekwa iwe. Etugide asị mgbe nweta ebe na-akụzi nkuzi ụgha si na Jizọs na ụmụnne ya ata nne ka achịcha chiri ita aka ọkpa mma ebu na tigide isi batrị na waya ọtanetọ ndị be anyị amala eziokwu. I will keep on exposing the lies and dogma of religion until Africa and the Igbo land is restored to its old glory. I come upon you, all ye kings and queens of the ancient Africa. May you not be asleep when the awakening calls. This is the age of Aquarius. This is the age of enlightenment. anyị nọzi n'oge anwụ ka eme ka anwụ amamihe kwụkwasị n'ebe ị nọ ka Chineke bunye ife iru elu mụkwasị anyị ka ndị nna anyị ochie wee meela anyị amala mkpọkụ oge arọbụnagụ niile mụ na ya dị na mma arụ ofu onye na ndụ igwe ọkala tụle na-egbu ọkala akwụ ọbara tụle niile agba ọbara akwụ oke aka ji ọfọ njide egbe nsunu ga-ebu ihe ojii na ndụ ọda mmiri eje ọgwụ aka ọsịa eze nwaanyị sọbalị nsunu bịaba mmụọ njim obegbu nsunu bịa olemenklisi na bred nsunu se itekunu bịaba eze nwaanyị sọbalị ọtụtụ nzu na ịgba arịa nsunu se itebe arọbụnagụ njide ebube arụ ofu onye igwe arụ ofu onye igwe arofu 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 onye igwe ogbute ọ dịka ọma ngwa ọgwụ dịka ọma mbute ọzọ mgbe oge nne nwaanyị nje abasa itebe ife niile dị n'ogwulogu na iwu n'oge ife niile bụ ogbuzunu nkanụ jide egbe nsunu bịa nsunu ife niile nje aba jide egbe ogbu ile na ụrachi nsị bụ ite ntebone nsere ife niile ogwugwu jide ebube nsunu bụ ikere ife niile eda jide ebube nsunu bịa mmụọ niile ebinubadị nsunu se itebe abịa ma bụ itebe ọkụta ọkụ n'ọnụ bụ aja ife anyị adị ndụ baa nzu na-ama mmiri na-ama ọnwụ ife niile dị na ịka igbo ife niile dị na ịsha ife niile dị na isoko urobo ife dị na ana yoruba ọbatala oromila shongo ogun agẹwọ èṣù nsúlùbíte ekwensu oke alụsị anyị ji ama oke ọgụ nsị gị bịa ma oke ọgụ eluo arụ ofu onye igwe ofu ụmụogerekwu nsị gị bịa arụ abụmbe nsị gị so etebe agụ nji eri agụ nsị gị bịa arụ mmanụ ka dị n'ikwu nna m nsị gị bịa nwụọ nji m ego ike niile nji dị otu n'obi nsụlụ bịa tita na ozi na maka ndị niile na-amara ọmalụ na igbo ya adịkwa elu ọzọ etu ọ gọrọ ya na ọfọ ka ọ ya adị n'aba chukwu na aja ana ise ka Chukwu ike mee ka ọ baala anyị na ncha niile ka ọ dịrị unu mma ka ọ dịkwa na echi I might take break tomorrow to recover from my health but if I find health I will still announce if I will be teaching tomorrow. Signing out. Good night bon nuit everybody. Down ụmụnne m ka chi fọnụ ndị Igbo